Have you noticed that no matter how hard you try, the belly fat just keeps growing? Maybe you've cut calories, skipped desserts, even forced yourself onto strict diets, yet your stomach still feels swollen, heavy, and impossible to flatten. What if I told you the problem may not actually be your belly at all? What if the real culprit is hiding deep inside your body right now, a overworked, fat-filled liver, silently slowing your metabolism every single day? Most people have no idea that fatty liver disease has become one of the biggest hidden health threats in the modern world. Millions are walking around with it and don't even know. And the terrifying part is this: a fatty liver doesn't just affect your weight. It can drain your energy, spike your blood sugar, increase inflammation, damage your heart, and make your body hold on to fat no matter how hard you try to lose it. But here's where things get interesting. For centuries, traditional medicine relied on one powerful category of N, Q, natural remedies to stimulate the liver and digestion, bitter tonics. Today, science is finally catching up to what ancient healers understood long ago. Certain bitter compounds can activate bile flow, improve digestion, support detoxification pathways, and help the body process fat more efficiently. In simple words, they help wake up a sluggish metabolic system. Now listen carefully, this is not some miracle overnight cure. Anyone promising that is misleading you. But when the liver starts functioning better, many people notice profound changes. Reduced bloating, fewer cravings, more stable energy, improved digestion, and gradual loss of stubborn abdominal fat. And in today's speech, I'm going to explain exactly why this happens. You'll discover the everyday foods secretly damaging your liver, the early warning signs most doctors overlook, the truth about bitter herbs and liver health, and the simple daily habits that can either heal or destroy your metabolism over time. I'll also explain. Laying how belly fat and fatty liver are deeply connected in ways most people never realize until it's too late. So if you want to understand why your body feels stuck, why your waistline keeps expanding, and what you can start doing today to support your liver naturally, stay with me until the end, because one small change in your daily routine could completely transform the way your body stores fat, burns energy, and protects your long-term health. Most people think belly fat is simply the result of eating too much or exercising too little, but the truth is far more complicated. One of the biggest hidden causes of stubborn abdominal fat is something many people never suspect: a fatty liver. Your liver is one of the most important metabolic organs in your body. It processes nutrients, regulates blood sugar, helps burn fat, filters toxins, and controls hundreds of chemical reactions every single day. But when excess fat begins accumulating inside the liver, everything starts slowing down. N. The body becomes less efficient at burning calories, insulin resistance increases, inflammation rises, and fat storage around the waist accelerates. This is why some people diet constantly yet still struggle with a swollen stomach, fatigue, and cravings that never seem to disappear. What makes fatty liver so dangerous is how silently it develops. In the early stages, many people feel perfectly normal. Others experience subtle symptoms they dismiss as aging or stress. They may feel tired after meals, mentally foggy in the afternoon, or constantly hungry despite eating enough food. Some notice they gain weight mostly around the midsection while their arms and legs remain relatively unchanged. These are not random changes. They are warning signs that the liver is becoming overwhelmed. Modern lifestyles are creating the perfect storm for this problem. Sugary beverages, processed foods, constant snacking, lack of movement, poor sleep, and chronic stress all force the liver to work hard. Are than it was designed to. Over time, fat begins building inside liver cells, and once that process starts, the body shifts into survival mode, storing more energy as belly fat instead of burning it efficiently. What shocks many people is that you do not need to drink alcohol to develop fatty liver disease. In fact, millions of adults and even teenagers now suffer from non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, caused primarily by poor diet and insulin resistance. And the more fat the liver stores, the harder it becomes for the body to regulate appetite and energy properly. This creates a vicious cycle where people feel exhausted, crave sugar for quick energy, gain more abdominal weight, and unknowingly worsen the problem further. Understanding this connection is life-changing because it shifts the focus away from starving yourself and towards supporting the organs that actually control metabolism. When liver function improves, many people begin noticing reduced bloating, steadier energy, fewer cravings. and gradual improvement in stubborn belly fat that once felt impossible to lose naturally for thousands of years, traditional healing systems across the world use bitter herbs and bitter foods as powerful tools for digestion, detoxification, and metabolic health. Long before laboratories existed, healers observed that people who regularly consumed bitter plants often had stronger digestion, less bloating, better energy, and healthier body weight. Today, modern science is beginning to explain why. Bitterness is not just a flavor, it is a biological signal. When bitter compounds touch the tongue, they activate receptors that communicate directly with the digestive system, liver, pancreas, and even the brain. This triggers a chain reaction inside the body that helps prepare the digestive organs to process food more efficiently. One of the most important effects is the stimulation of bile production, which plays a critical role in breaking down fats and removing waste products. Q. From the body. The problem is that modern diets have almost completely eliminated bitter foods. Processed foods are designed to be sweet, salty, and highly addictive, while naturally bitter vegetables and herbs are often avoided. As a result, many people have digestive systems that are constantly overloaded yet underperforming. The liver becomes sluggish, bile flow slows down, fat digestion weakens, and toxins begin accumulating inside the body. Over time, this can contribute to inflammation, insulin resistance, bloating, and increased fat storage around the abdomen. This is one reason belly fat has become so common in modern society. The body is consuming more calories than ever while losing many of the natural compounds that once supported healthy metabolism. Certain bitter tonics contain herbs traditionally associated with liver support and digestive stimulation. Ingredients such as dandelion root, milk thistle, gentian, artichoke leaf, and bitter melon have been studied for their potential effects on liver function and metabolic health. Some may help stimulate bile movement, improve digestion, reduce oxidative stress, and support healthier blood sugar control. When digestion improves, the body becomes more efficient at processing nutrients instead of storing them excessively as fat. Many people notice that after introducing bitter foods or tonics into their routine, cravings decrease, heavy meals feel easier to digest, and energy levels become more stable throughout the day. However, the real power of bitter tonics is not magic, it is consistency. They work best when combined with healthy habits such as reducing sugar intake, improving sleep, staying physically active, and avoiding overeating. The liver has an extraordinary ability to repair itself when given proper support, but it cannot overcome constant abuse from poor lifestyle choices. Understanding the role of bitterness in human health reveals how deeply modern eating habits have disconnected people from the natural signals that once kept metabolism balanced and the body functioning efficiently. One of the biggest reasons, fatty. Liver disease has become so common because many everyday habits that seem harmless are quietly damaging the liver day after day. Most people imagine liver disease only happens to heavy alcohol drinkers, but modern research shows that poor lifestyle habits can overload the liver just as aggressively. The frightening part is that these habits are often considered normal in today's world. Sugary drinks, processed snacks, sleeping too late, chronic stress, and constant overeating slowly create an environment where fat begins accumulating inside liver cells. Over time, the liver becomes inflamed, sluggish, and less capable of regulating metabolism properly, which is why belly fat often becomes one of the earliest visible warning signs. One of the worst offenders is excess sugar, especially fructose found in soft drinks, sweetened coffees, packaged juices, dessert, RTs, and many processed foods. Unlike other nutrients, large amounts of fructose are processed almost entirely by the liver. When the liver becomes overwhelmed, it starts converting that sugar into fat. This fat can accumulate inside the liver itself and eventually spread throughout the abdomen. Many people consume shocking amounts of hidden sugar every single day without realizing it. Even foods marketed as healthy, such as flavored yogurts, granola bars, breakfast cereals, and low-fat snacks may contain large quantities of added sugar that silently strain the liver. Another major problem is late-night eating. The body's metabolism follows a natural circadian rhythm, and the liver performs many of its repair and detoxification processes during sleep. When people eat heavy meals late at night, especially processed carbohydrates and fried foods, the liver is forced to keep working instead of recovering. Over time, this constant overload can worsen insulin resistance and increase fat. Storage around the waistline. Lack of sleep makes the situation even worse by disrupting hormones that control hunger and blood sugar balance. Sleep-deprived people often crave sugary foods the next day, creating a cycle that continuously stresses the liver. Highly processed seed oils and fast foods are another hidden danger. Many fried and packaged foods contain unstable fats that promote inflammation inside the body. Chronic inflammation damages liver cells and interferes with the body's ability to burn fat efficiently. Add chronic stress to the equation and the problem becomes even more serious. Elevated stress hormones such as cortisol encourage the body to store more fat around the abdomen while increasing cravings for comfort foods. This combination of poor diet, stress, and inactivity creates the perfect conditions for fatty liver disease to develop silently over many years. What makes these habits especially dangerous is that the damage happens gradually. People often ignore. Ease small warning signs like fatigue, bloating, weight gain, or brain fog until more serious health problems appear. But the good news is that the liver is incredibly resilient. When harmful habits are reduced and healthier routines are introduced consistently, the liver can begin repairing itself and restoring healthier metabolic function over time. One of the most dangerous things about fatty liver disease is that the body often whispers before it screams. Many people walk around for years with an overworked, fat-filled liver and never realize it because the warning signs appear slowly and quietly. They blame aging, stress, poor sleep, or simply getting older, while the real problem continues growing beneath the surface. The liver is an incredibly resilient organ, capable of functioning even when damaged, which is why symptoms may remain subtle for a long time. But if you pay close attention, the body often gives early clues that the liver is struggling and desperately needs support. One of the most common warning signs is stubborn belly fat that refuses to disappear no matter how much dieting or exercise someone tries. This type of fat is not always just beneath the skin. Much of it is linked to deeper metabolic dysfunction and increased fat storage around internal organs. When the liver becomes overloaded, insulin resistance often develops, making it easier for the body to store fat and harder to burn it efficiently. Many people notice that even when they lose weight elsewhere, the stomach area remains enlarged and bloated. This can be one of the earliest visible signs that metabolism is becoming impaired. Constant fatigue is another major clue. People with fatty liver often describe feeling drained after meals or struggling with low energy throughout the day. This happens because the liver plays a central role in processing nutrients and regulating blood sugar. When liver function slows down, the body becomes less efficient at converting food into stable energy. As a result, people may feel sluggish, sleepy after eating, or dependent on caffeine and sugar just to stay alert. Brain fog is also common. Difficulty concentrating, forgetfulness, and mental exhaustion may seem unrelated to liver health, but chronic inflammation and unstable blood sugar can strongly affect brain function. Many individuals also experience frequent cravings for sugar and refined carbohydrates. This is often tied to insulin resistance, which commonly develops alongside fatty liver disease. The body struggles to regulate blood sugar properly, leading to cycles of energy crashes and cravings for quick fuel. Bloating, indigestion, and discomfort after heavy meals may also occur because the liver and gallbladder are not producing or releasing bile efficiently enough to digest fats properly. There are even physical signs visible on the skin. Darkened patches around the neck, underarms, or joints can sometimes indicate insulin resistance, a condition closely linked with fatty liver disease. Elevated triglycerides, high blood pressure, rising blood sugar, and abnormal cholesterol levels may also appear long before serious liver symptoms develop. The tragedy is that many people ignore these warnings until severe inflammation or permanent liver damage begins to occur. But recognizing these early signals can be life-changing because the liver has a remarkable ability to heal when the body is given the right support, nourishment, and lifestyle changes over time. When people hear about bitter tonics for liver health, many assume that simply drinking a small herbal mixture will magically melt away belly fat overnight. But the truth is far more practical and far more powerful. The effectiveness of a bitter tonic depends heavily on how and when it is used, along with the daily habits surrounding it. Bitter compounds work by stimulating digestive and metabolic processes inside the body, especially bile production and liver activity. However, if someone continues, flooding the body with processed foods, sugar, alcohol, and constant overeating, even the best tonic in the world will struggle to make a meaningful difference. The liver can heal remarkably well, but it needs consistent support rather than quick fixes. One of the most effective times to consume a bitter tonic is before meals. This is because bitterness activates digestive receptors that prepare the stomach, liver, and gallbladder for incoming food. When bile flow improves, fats can be broken down more efficiently, reducing feelings of heaviness and bloating after eating. Many people notice that meals feel easier to digest and cravings become more manageable when bitter compounds are taken consistently before eating. Drinking a tonic before the largest meal of the day may be especially helpful for those who struggle with sluggish digestion or overeating at night. Hydration is another essential factor that many people overlook. The liver relies heavily on proper fluid balance to carry. Why are detoxification and metabolic functions? When the body is dehydrated, digestion slows down and waste products become harder to eliminate efficiently. This is why increasing water intake while supporting the liver often helps reduce fatigue, bloating, and cravings. Simple habits such as drinking water consistently throughout the day and avoiding excessive sugary beverages can make a significant difference in how the body processes fat and energy. Food choices also determine whether the tonic will help or fail. Whole foods rich in fiber, lean proteins, healthy fats, and vegetables provide the nutrients the liver needs to repair itself. Meanwhile, processed foods loaded with sugar and refined carbohydrates continuously force the liver to store more fat. Even small changes such as reducing sugary drinks, eating earlier in the evening, and avoiding constant snacking can dramatically improve the body's ability to respond to liver-supportive habits. Physical movement matters as well. NTLE daily walking after meals helps muscles use glucose more effectively, reducing the burden placed on the liver and improving insulin sensitivity over time. People often expect dramatic changes within days, but real metabolic healing usually happens gradually. In the first few weeks, many individuals notice less bloating, improved digestion, more stable energy, and fewer cravings for sugar or junk food. Sleep may improve, and the heavy feeling after meals may begin disappearing. Over time, as the liver becomes less overloaded and insulin sensitivity improves, stubborn abdominal fat may slowly begin decreasing as well. The key is consistency, patience, and understanding that lasting health improvements come from supporting the body daily rather than searching for instant results that rarely last long term. The biggest mistake people make when trying to lose belly fat or reverse fatty liver disease is searching for a temporary solution instead of building a sustainable lifestyle that supports the body for years to come. Quick diets, detox cleanses, and extreme workout plans may create short-term changes, but if the underlying habits remain unhealthy, the liver eventually becomes overloaded again. Long-term liver health is not about perfection. It is about creating daily routines that reduce inflammation, stabilize blood sugar, improve metabolism, and give the body the conditions it needs to repair itself naturally over time. When people understand this, they stop punishing their bodies and start working with them instead. One of the most important parts of long-term liver protection is controlling insulin levels. Insulin is the hormone that helps move sugar from the bloodstream into cells, but when people constantly consume processed carbohydrates and sugary foods, insulin levels remain elevated for long periods. Over time, the body becomes resistant to insulin, forcing the liver to convert more excess sugar into fat. This process directly contributes to fatty liver. For disease and stubborn belly fat, reducing added sugars, avoiding constant snacking, and focusing on balanced meals with protein, fiber, and healthy fats can dramatically improve insulin sensitivity. Even modest improvements in blood sugar control can reduce stress on the liver and support gradual fat loss around the abdomen. Sleep is another critical factor that many people underestimate. During deep sleep, the body performs essential repair processes, regulates hormones, and restores metabolic balance. Poor sleep increases cortisol and hunger hormones, leading to stronger cravings for sugary and high-calorie foods the next day. Chronic sleep deprivation also worsens insulin resistance and inflammation, making it far more difficult for the liver to recover. Simply improving sleep consistency and getting enough rest can significantly affect metabolism and energy levels over time. Physical activity is equally important, but many people believe they must perform intense workouts to results. In reality, regular movement is often more beneficial and sustainable than extreme exercise routines. Walking after meals, strength training a few times per week, and staying physically active throughout the day help muscles absorb glucose more effectively, reducing the burden placed on the liver. Building muscle is especially valuable because muscle tissue improves metabolic flexibility and helps the body burn energy more efficiently even while resting. Food quality matters tremendously as well. Liver-friendly diets tend to include vegetables, healthy fats, lean proteins, nuts, seeds, legumes, and fiber-rich foods that nourish the body without overwhelming it. Bits of vegetables such as arugula, dandelion greens, mustard greens, and cruciferous vegetables may further support digestion and bile flow naturally. At the same time, limiting ultra-processed foods, sugary beverages, excessive alcohol, and fried foods helps reduce inflammation and fat accumulation inside the liver. The encouraging truth is that the liver is one of the few organs capable of remarkable regeneration when harmful habits are removed consistently. Even small daily improvements repeated over months and years can lead to major transformations in energy, digestion, waist size, metabolic health, and overall quality of life. As we come to the end of this discussion, I want you to remember one important truth. Belly fat is often not just a cosmetic issue, it can be a warning signal from deep inside the body. A struggling liver affects far more than digestion. It influences your metabolism, your energy levels, your cravings, your hormones, and even your future health. And the frightening reality is that many people ignore these early warning signs until serious disease begins developing silently beneath the surface. But there is also good news. The human body is incredibly resilient when given the right support. Your liver has an extraordinary ability to repair and regenerate itself if you stop overwhelming it with constant sugar, processed foods, inactivity, poor sleep, and chronic stress. Small daily habits may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they create powerful changes inside the body. Choosing healthier meals, moving your body regularly, improving sleep, reducing excess sugar, and supporting digestion with natural bitter foods or tonics can gradually help restore metabolic balance and reduce the burden placed on the liver. The goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. You do not need extreme diets or impossible routines to begin improving your health. What matters most is consistency. Every healthier choice gives your body another opportunity to heal. Every walk after a meal, every glass of water instead of soda, every hour of quality sleep, and every effort to nourish rather than punish your body moves you one step closer to better energy, a healthier metabolism, and reduced abdominal fat. And perhaps the most important lesson of all is that do not wait until symptoms become severe before taking action. The body whispers long before it screams. Fatigue, bloating, cravings, stubborn belly fat, brain fog, and unstable energy are not always normal signs of aging. They may be messages from your body asking for help. Listening to those signals early can change the direction of your future health completely. So if today's message opened your eyes, let it be the beginning of a new approach, not focused on chasing rapid weight loss, but focused on rebuilding health from the inside out. Because when you take care of your liver, you are not just helping one organ. You are supporting the entire system that controls how your body burns fat, creates energy, protects itself from disease, and allows you to live with strength and vitality for years to come.